Hey folks, Quillian here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Super ULM in Europa Universalis 4. So things are going extremely well. We've played for just over 50 years. We started with our one province minor, and now we've blobbed out a fair bit. Certainly there have been a few spots here and there that I could have done a little bit more optimally, but I'm overall enjoying it. Of course, we're having to manage our aggressive expansion a fair bit now. It's always funny when you, I played the first 9 parts basically in a row, and so this is me coming back a few days later and starting from a save, right? Loading a save. Well, when you when you load a save, all the AIs like reevaluate some of their diplomatic situations, so it can actually change things pretty dramatically, which is a little bit funny. What was I gonna say? Yeah, a big part of the game here is managing our aggressive expansion. Now, right now, it's actually not too bad. We've got, some 40s, which technically, once they get above, or below, I suppose, minus 30, right? They're minus 30 or even more negative than that. They can join a coalition. And some of these people, probably hate me a little bit. I mean, that's not terribly hated, but it's a fair amount. But I've got enough allies right now that they're not feeling... Can I not political map mode? No. Diplomatic map mode. Enough allies here that they're not feeling like they can really attack me. That being said, I'm not going to push the AE anymore right now. We do have a bit of a manpower shortage. We'll do that. We've got to burn off a few things. We're potentially going to try to diplo-vassalize some people. And yes, it will lead to some minus 25s, annexed, like later on, annexed member of the HRE, but I think they'll deal with it. Bohemia, we want to keep up our royal marriage, please and thank you. We have no diplomats to send. Let's go ahead and cancel the one from Alsace here. There we go. And we might send it back. We are a little bit working on Ansbach here. We're feeding them some subsidies. And yes, we can get a few points with the... I guess we could go ahead and just offer the military access right now. One thing I didn't realize, and people have pointed out, is that apparently you can guarantee independence, even if we already have an alliance. Proclaim guarantee. And that will stack, even though we already have an alliance, which seems a little silly. I know that you can't proclaim a guarantee of your vassal. I wonder if proclaim guarantee makes it like automatic that you get called into war. I don't think it does. Anyway, we'll go ahead and do this and stack a little bit more. And yeah, we may as well do a little bit of diplomatic expansion, even if it's not terribly efficient, because these are pretty small little countries. Well, everyone hates Bavaria. Just because, we can help. So we haven't done the send gift yet. Obviously, that'll be another plus 25, assuming that we send them enough, which should be the case. We are at full army maintenance, which I don't think we have to be. We don't have any unrest going around over here. So I'm not going to drop it all the way, because I still want some reinforcements to happen. But right now, the reinforcement rate was outpacing my manpower rate anyway, so we may as well do that. Some people have said that the ratio of the army is off. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to say... because they're saying you have too much cannons and not enough infantry. They said your ratio is off. And I'm going to say they're right, but for the wrong reasons. It's not that my ratio is bad. In fact, someone said, oh, you're early on. I mean, yes, early on the cannons are not as good as they are later on. So, overvaluing them early is potentially a mistake. But someone said, like go for a 4-1-1 ratio. I don't think that's quite right. You want to target specific numbers. And overall, I'm happy with my ratio. But what I think I've forgotten is that given that this is not a very big army, my overall frontline sort of combat width and ability to make sure that it stays fully reinforced isn't good enough. And so people are able to reach the back line. Like if this were an army that was twice as big, I think this ratio would be exquisite and perfect because we'd have enough of a front line to make sure no one could get to the cannons. But because it's a smaller army, we don't have enough front line to cover the combat with consistently, and people are getting at the cannons, and so I think that's it. So it's not a question of ratio. I believe it's a question of not enough of a solid front line, which means ultimately, yeah, we need a little bit more infantry for our numbers, and we will go ahead and do that. If there's a war, we'll go. Right now we're at our army force limit. I'm not going to go and change my configuration. If there is a war, I will go ahead and hire maybe another couple units of infantry just above my force limit, just to provide a bit of a sturdier front line for my cannons, and I think that'll be pretty good. I'm actually going to go and pull my army a little bit more inland here, just to make sure we're not right on the edge if we're not running at full maintenance, for example. But yeah, overall, we're going to let our manpower recover for a few years while we just do a little bit of random sucking up to people. Wurzburg is another potential here, so let's see. Let's go ahead and offer them their military access. We still have to wait there. We are not currently giving them subsidies. We may not need to. And once we vassalize them, it doesn't actually cancel the subsidies, which is kind of annoying. Defended our territory. Fought to the end. Pretty good stuff. Well, I could still guarantee them. Guaranteed. It's only the +10, but it's something. Proclaim guarantee. There we are. Now, I do have to be concerned, of course. Bavaria might decide to attack them, or someone else might decide to attack them. These guarantees could be dangerous. I don't have much of an army right now. But I suspect that whatever happens here, it's not going to be enough to be that scary. We don't have tons of money in the bank. What's our current income? That's not bad for our current size. But yeah, we should definitely just keep saving up so that we can do the Merc thing if it comes up. And I'm going to go up to speed 3. We'll keep watching these guys. Mostly, we have to wait for a few negatives to burn off a little bit. Yeah, allied to rival. That kind of sucks. But a little bit of aggressive expansion, a little annex member of the HRE. A bit of border friction, although it'll mostly be there. We are not currently improving relations with you. We should be doing that. There we are. Who else are we improving with? Augsburg, right. Which I think is fine. We're going to sort of leave that in our back pocket. I think we're just sort of improving relations all over and see what we can do. But we'll go ahead and focus there. And there we go. Mostly peace. France, starting to get a little bit scary for a change. They were beat up pretty badly for a while there. Now they're looking scary once more, and now I've got to be a bit concerned with them. Aragon is still independent of Castile. And in fact, Castile's failed to make any approaches there. Which is too bad. A stronger Castile can help keep France under wraps a bit. Of course, right now they're my ally, and I'm happy for that. But, you know, give us another 50 years or 100 years, and all of a sudden I'm going to be like, okay, we got to do something about France. But first, we got to look after ourselves. Oh, a bit of rebels on Venezia itself, which may actually be quite hard to dislodge. And actually, it looks like the rebels have moved there. They have. Vision there for a sec. That is a big stack of noble rebels. Now, noble rebels won't break Venice. They'll, I think... What do noble rebels do? I was going to say that I was thinking pretender rebels for a while. Noble rebels. Do they do something about Republican tradition? I'm not sure. That is not much in the way of money, but I guess I'll take it. EU4 noble rebels. Let's Google that while we watch. Rebellion. Noble. What? This list is not helpful. There's got to be another one somewhere. Come on. Why are these wikis so not helpful sometimes? But Republican governments with low tradition can collapse into despotism, with noble rebel factions become increasingly unlikely. Oh, yeah, so that's it. They've got a really low Republican tradition, and they might fall into a despotism, which I don't think I've ever seen Venice do. Let's, I guess we'll recall that diplomat. Take another look over here. We're getting very close. Have we sent you a gift yet? No. Let's go ahead and do that and speed it along. Boom. Done. Excellent. We will be able to vassalize you momentarily. Wurzburg, let's go and help you out. We can get a little bit more defending your territory bonus. We just have to wait for our army to recharge. I think, I'm trying to remember, I think you can get even more bonus if you de-siege stuff. I think we'll focus on de-sieging before anything else. That's a lot of army tradition. That is probably too much army tradition. That was a lot of freaking prestige, too. Like, a lot. Oh, I can't go into your territory? Really, buddy? Why don't you, give me military access. I don't know if I'll get credit for de-sieging that, because I probably won't be leading the siege. So I'll just go and beat up on the rebels instead. We can get a new idea. I don't see any reason not to. Yeah, we're ahead of time on military. Now, we could just bank enough to maybe get to the point where before we hit 999, we won't be ahead. But getting more ideas does cheapen that. Plus, we'll actually get our yearly Republican tradition. Nice. Nice. That'll make it very easy for us to keep our leaders in place for a really, really long time. So we did go in a little bit half-cocked there, but it looks like it's going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull back, I guess, to my capital of Ulm. There we go. Right, so we vassalized you. Excellent. We can do the same thing here. We just need a little bit more love. I'm going to send you a gift. There we go. Cores are finishing as well. Excellent. Excellent. France declared war on England. Succession. No. Swedish succession war? Personal union with England. Holy shit. I've never, ever seen this. And whoever wins the succession war is going to be insanely powerful. I suspect England should, because I don't know what France can do to really damage England. So whatever the war goal is in the succession war, which might be like take the capital or something, I'm not sure. Maybe it's 80% battles. I'd have to look it up. But regardless, I don't see how France can make any progress towards the war goal, and England should just start with it passively. Which is probably better. I think England having Sweden is better than France having Sweden. Now, we could... ULM cannot reach England. Loyal attitude towards England. It'd be nice if they broke away at some point. Muscovy's just taken all of Novgorod. Well, they won't be able to eat it all, but they'll get some important stuff. What the hell, you guys? This is going to be a bad game. Because there is going to be a ridiculous powerhouse. Okay, France is calling me in. I'm going to accept. Because I'm already at negative prestige. Plus, I want to keep France as friends. But I'm not going to do anything. Oh, fudge. I could have waited. Oh, I can offer vassalization while I'm at war? What? Oh, okay. I mean, you can't start annexing when you're at war for some reason, but you can vassalize? You can diplo-vassalize people? That doesn't make much sense to me, but I guess I'll take it. Anywho, who else we maybe could do friendships with? We can get some alliances with a few people nearby. We are currently at our relationship limit, though, so I feel no desire to do that. And we can't eat Milan. They're a bit too big. Ferrara probably hates me. They don't, actually. Distance between borders, neutral latitude, member of the empire. You know, we might be able to get them to like us enough at some point to get in there, especially if we get close. Mostly what would be nice is if I could take Brescia away. Maybe even Verona. What do we have? They're still a merchant republic. Look like they've dealt with their rebels. That's, excuse me, that's fine. I don't want to fabricate any claims. Just trying to decide what to do with my other diplomat here. That's bits of Burgundy? Okay. I like to keep sucking up to people who might be small enough to just swallow up diplomatically. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and suck up to Alsace for now. That's fine. And then mostly, yeah, we're going to leave our troops here. Now, France is going to be able to siege a province. But yeah, mostly they're going to be blockaded. It looks like they'll win a naval battle there, but the English Navy is coming pretty quickly. And short of marching... So what is the war goal? Stockholm. So, I suppose I could try marching to Stockholm. But why would I want to help France? Again, if either one of them have to control Sweden, I think I'd rather that England did it. Just because England is going to be less of a threat to me in the long term. And short term, France is perfectly strong enough to do everything that we want it to do. So, yeah. Advisor. Take the morale bonus. Plus, we're just looking for the power points, which is fine. Currently, we've got a 225 leader. We'll be able to re-elect him. We've got lots of Republican tradition, like that, 2 per year. We'll keep electing that. Having such poor prestige is bad for the extra AE penalty, but it's not going to matter one way or another. We are now no longer overextended whatsoever. And yeah, we just want to wait for our manpower to recharge. I could build some buildings, but I was talking about saving my money. And right now, we're not making much in the way of money because, of course, we gave up a few subsidies there. Oh, when we've got the new advisors as well. Where's the diplomatic expenses? See, that's nothing. Just a little bit towards Ansbach. And I suppose I could actually cancel them, couldn't I? Which always strikes me as a bit weird. Like, didn't I just promise to do it for like 10 days? Or 10 years, rather? Apparently not so much. You'll do that. Relationships are still good everywhere. I suppose for the sake of keeping things busy, I'll go ahead and improve relations with Wurzburg some more. We'll get the full plus 200 going on. And then in 10 years, we'll be able to just annex them. We'll still get a diplomatic hit with everyone, but at least it won't be aggressive expansion. It won't cost us any manpower. Ideally, I would like to expend my manpower to the south. If we could bring a war to Venice, it would be beautiful. They're not a member of the HRE. It's possible that Austria would come in with us, which would be great. They only have one ally. They do have a couple of vassals. If I had manpower, I would go now, but it's probably smart not to rush. Although, let's cancel our guy in Alsace over here. Just out of curiosity. Austria would not jump in. Attitude towards enemies. What, you like Venice? France is busy right now. But I think they would ultimately go in there. I will want to fabricate a claim, because I don't have a CB. I'm not going to do that quite yet, though. Just because it will give us aggressive expansion, of course. It's still, like, worth it. We need a claim. We need something we can do. What's my current mission? Is it recover manpower? Improve prestige. Listen, that's not going to happen, so... We're going to keep our current leader, since we have a ridiculous amount of Republican tradition. Of course, it costs us 20 to do that, but it's going to improve our points quite a bit. We're ahead of a time admin. We'll mostly save up. Are you kidding me? Look at this, you guys! Asking you shall receive. So I'm still really worried about what's happening with Sweden, but we just got a free claim on Brescia, which is exactly what we were hoping for. Austria like me a lot, right? Yeah, you know what? Oh, yeah, we could get our relation up quite a bit more. Ooh. I don't want 40% local autonomy. That's way too much. I will eat the admin point cost. Especially since right now I don't have anything to spend my admin points on. We are still ahead of time. It's worth staying ahead of time, certainly with admin, but I try to avoid paying the penalty. So we'll wait as long as possible before doing it. We can get Diplotech, which I will happily do, especially with vassals. It's going to modify their desire for independence. Now, they like me a lot, and they're small, so yeah, I was going to say their desire for independence should be pretty much non-existent. And we don't really need Diplotech for a lot of things, but by having ahead of time, we do get a bonus to our trade power, so, you know, that'll help our income a little bit. Inflation's not worth bringing down. Manpower slowly trickling up. We could definitely consider doing something here. It'd be nice if France wasn't in the war. Because if France wasn't in the war, they would help out. Okay, you'll beat them there, which is good. And you should be able to stack wipe them. Stack wipe them. Stack wipe them. What am I doing helping out the French? Well, again, it doesn't matter. France is gonna lose this war one way or another. It makes no difference. Just because they won't get the ticking war score. I mean, unless they get to Stockholm. Lithuania allied England. Okay, that's fine, I suppose. Protect against Venice. Have an army equal or larger. Vassalize Augsburg. Interesting. Take Brescia. Well, which I'd like that one. Augsburg does like me a fair bit. They're an elector. Oh, I can't vassalize them ever. Right. I'll take the Take Brescia mission, because it's likely that I'm going to want to do that soon anyway. Again, I'd like to avoid overpaying for the admin tech, so let's wait a little bit longer. And, you know, we're not at 999, so we can afford to do that. Heck, if I wanted to, I could pay to increase my stability, for example. We actually do have a rebel faction brewing, Burgundian Patriots in Wad and Vallis over here. Wad and Vallis. I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce it. This army is fully up there. We probably got some extra force limit. Nice, because we finished coring things. So I'm going to build 3 infantry for that, which is going to be fine. I'm going to let the rebels pop up. It shouldn't be a monster stack, hopefully. And we do have a few more people here. And now we'll have a little bit of a stronger infantry front line. You know, we could probably take Venice. How far away are we from hitting this statistically? 2.8 years. Ooh, royal marriage with France ended. Let's stop this one. Repeat our royal marriage with France, please and thank you. Excellent. Oh, people have clarified. Apparently, the way the royal marriages work and get canceled is they break when the person who offered the royal marriage died. So there you go. There you have it. Yeah, it's really, in hindsight, you know, this HR game, if I hadn't played a Republic, would be probably a lot stronger, because we can't become the Emperor, which I hadn't calculated when we started, which is really, really a shame. But we're going to be doing another HR game in the future, because they are looking to make changes to the HRE. So here, this is basically just, this is not an HRE game. This is a one province minor deal with aggressive expansion game. We'll do a proper HRE game once they change the HRE mechanics, and we'll play as a kingdom. So, now that we have our diplomat back, really, no one would join in. Plus current wars? No. Accepting would destabilize Austria? Really? Why? You don't have a truce. You don't have a royal marriage. Why would it destabilize you? Well, whatever. We're just going to keep our troops over here, which should have the support. Yeah. Just going to keep it nearby for when the barbarians pop. Wow. Let's see. Normally, like, losing Republican tradition is quite bad, but ours will bounce back fast enough. Probably, we need to make sure that we can keep this guy around, our current person. You know what? Let's take the stability hit. Right now, the only rebel uprising is still over here. This will actually accelerate it a little bit. Being at this level of negative stability is fine. We could spend it. I mean, I do have lots of admin points, although because of our low Republican tradition, it's quite a bit more expensive. I think I'm just going to sit on it and be okay. And that way we can keep charging up our Republican tradition so that we can keep re-electing our same person and get tons and tons and tons of power points. We're ahead of time on all tech, but we haven't really overpaid. We're managing our points perfectly fine, which is good. And with 10 military points per month, we'll actually be able to pull our trigger. Definitely on military tech when it comes to time. And I wouldn't mind overpaying a little bit if need be. So far, so good. So I know not much of an exciting episode, well, except for what's going on here, which is nuts. You know, slightly negative war score as expected because they have a ticking war score. France has won some of the land battles, which is something. But if they wipe peace out, it means England gets to keep Sweden, which I'm fine with, given the alternatives. I would much prefer Sweden to be independent, because that is just scary. What's going on over here? Oh, Castile's not actually in a war. Portugal. Oh, Portugal is in the war against France. I see. And they're currently going to be eaten up. Wow. Burgundy declares war on England. Reconquest. What are they reconquesting? Calais, which is already occupied by France. Now, if England can recapture Calais, then Burgundy can take it. Interesting. I don't know. Anyway, manpower is decent. Oh, we can get a new idea. Lovely, we'll do that. Increased reinforced speed. Sure. Actually, hold on. I'm going to wait because I'm going to want the new level of military tech for the increased infantry skill. Cessation of church functions. Lose stability and lose influence or get money. Oh, which hurts my taxes for 20 years. I think 20 years of bad taxes is not worth it here. So we're going to do that. Let's put it at -2, which is quite low. But we don't have looming disaster. These guys are about to take over, so let's go ahead and... Oh, we're at full army maintenance. When did I do that? Oh, to kill some rebels, I think, over in Würzburg, actually. Okay, well, that's fine. There we go. Okay, yeah, rebellion 2 spots, which is fine. We're at our army limit. We've got a solid front line. We've got a leader, 3-1. We are going to be attacking into the mountains. They have a worse leader. We should be able to handle this one. Hopefully. What's the combat width? 12. Yeah, see, now we have enough of a solid front line to keep that going with full combat width. Bam. Actually wouldn't mind one extra knight, one extra cavalry, but we're all right. And wait here, and wait on that one. We could take the ahead of time now, but we're not going to go to 999. So January 1st, We'll not have an ahead-of-time penalty for administrative, so we'll go ahead and spend it right away. We'll keep our bonus, our 20% production efficiency bonus, plus we'll get an extra 10% there. And it actually unlocks Forced March, which is fun. So we're no hurry here because their siege is taking a while. We do have the increased defensiveness, right? We've got that idea. Yeah, 33% siege defense, so each tick takes a third longer than normal. That's mostly reinforced. Let's go ahead and squash these guys. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Combat width 25. But yeah, we've got more front lines than they do, so they can't, no wraparound, no weirdness. Good stuff. Okay, I'm going to move back sort of into the center of the country. I'll go ahead and lower our army maintenance for now. Let them recharge a little bit. So not all the way, just enough to save money, but they'll slowly trickle in. We'll build up a little bit more manpower. And, well, France is still at war, which is really annoying for this. Now, I might be able to take Venice. Let's check the numbers real quickly before we call this episode. Venice has 23,000 troops and 0 manpower. Whereas what am I called? New Ulm? New Ulm. Yeah, alright, so I don't have the numbers. I might be able to beat them positionally. And I do have some vassals, which of course help out. Right, that's the other thing that increased my force limit. So coring things, but vassals. Yeah, I'm going to definitely wait until this war ends, ideally. Or if we can get Austria to come in, that would solve things as well. But, Austria, you are in a war now. Defender against Saxon and Saxon conquest of Potsdam. Alright, well, y'all have fun there. Okay. Well, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.